the day before our biometrics, which was a very big risk. So please just wait until they tell you to go before you go home. If you are pregnant, please remind the X-ray person, especially if your tummy is not long, like mine was the second time around. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Didi, and if you're seeing my face for the first time, welcome to this channel. Please consider subscribing to this channel. So today's video is a follow-up of my previous video. We came into the UK through the Global Talent Visa route, so we did a separate video on the step-by-step, like the detailed video on that step. So if you're interested in that, please check out my previous video. So today's video, like I said, I'll be doing a follow-up on that video. Basically today I'm going to be talking about the step-by-step process from applying for your visa to when you get into the UK. I'm also going to be giving specific tips for some VIPs. What I mean VIPs is people that happen to be pregnant, like I was when I was doing this process. So I'm going to be giving some extra tips for this category of people who I consider VIPs. Disclaimer, I'm not an immigration expert. I'm just sharing my own experiences in case someone out there needs it. So now I'm going to be starting from the application process. In my previous video, we talked about submitting the application to TechNation and waiting for a response from TechNation. This process I'm talking about now is after you must have gotten a positive response from TechNation, and then you can now proceed to the visa application proper. Now, it can also be applicable to other people that are coming in through other visa route. First, you must have gotten whatever necessary document you need to apply. For example, if you are coming in with the tier 2 visa, the sponsorship visa, you must have gotten your certificate of sponsorship from your employer. If you are coming in through the student visa route, you must have gotten your admission letters. In our case, which is the tier 1 visa route, the tier 1 global talent visa route, you must have gotten your yes from TechNation or from whichever endorsing body you are applying to. So after you have gotten your document, in this case your yes, your endorsement letter from TechNation, you go to the gov.uk website. I'll be linking that in the description box. When you get to the gov.uk website, of course you fill in the necessary information and you'll be directed to pay for your visa application. And your visa application is multiplied by the number of dependents you have. What I mean is that if you have 3 family members, you're going to pay the amount times 3. If you have 4 family members, times 4, and so on. So you're going to also pay for your health surcharge, which is multiplied by the number of years your visa is going to be for. Like if you're doing a 3-year visa, you pay health surcharge for the 3 years. If you're doing a 5-year visa, you pay your health surcharge for the 5 years. If you're on a 5-year visa, it's not compulsory that you must pay for the entire 5 years. You can pay for 3 years, but most people prefer to just pay for the entire duration of the visa. You can also pay for 2 years out of your 5 years, and then when you come to the UK, you pay for the rest, whichever way. But you just have to pay for your application fee and your health surcharge. Also, your health surcharge is by the number of family members you have. So if you have 2, 3, 4 family members, to be multiplied by the number of family members you have. After paying for your health surcharge, you will now be directed to apply for your TB test and your biometrics. Now you can apply for your TB test at the IOM website, which I will link down below. There are 3 offices that I know of, one in Ikeja, one in VI, and another one in Abuja. I don't know if there are others, but those are the only 3 I know about. So apply and book a day for your TB test, and then you pay a certain amount. I think it's 54,000 thereabout for your test. Now you can now go ahead and book for your biometrics. I would strongly advise that you book your biometrics at least 3 days ahead of your TB test. You need your TB test result uploaded before you can do your biometrics. And if for any reason your TB test result is not out by the day you did it, or by the next day, or peradventure there's an issue with the results and you have to repeat the test, things like that, you have like 3 days gap, at least 3 days gap to fix up those issues before your biometric comes up. Now in our case, we booked our TB test the day before our biometrics, which was a very big risk. We're just thankful that we're able to meet up because our TB test results did not come out the same day. The test result came out on the day of our biometrics. So if not that our biometrics was booked for afternoon, our TB test result came out in the morning around 10 a.m. and our biometrics was around 1 p.m. Trust me, you don't want that stress in your life. So just book your biometrics like 3 days after your TB test. Nobody told us this, that's why we did what we did, but thank God it worked for us. But please, to avoid such risk, just book your TB test ahead, your biometrics ahead of your TB test. After booking for your TB test, you then go to the TLS Connect website and book for your biometrics. There are different service options, there are different services they render. So self-service, managed service. If you want your documents to your visa documents to be couriered to you via DHL, you can pay for that. We paid for VIP because at the time we were on a crunch and we had a time frame we're working towards, so we couldn't wait for other dates to open up. And so the only option we had to get a close date, a date that is closer, was to pay for VIP. And honestly, it all worked out. I actually don't regret paying for the VIP service. So if you have the money, please pay for the VIP. So you pay for all the services you need and then you wait for your TB test day. I'll be giving us information for the TB test day and for the biometrics day. First, on the day of your TB test, number 1, arrive early. Arrive early for your TB test. I happen to have done medicals both in Abuja IOM office and in Lagos Ikeja IOM office. Anyway, why I did that is story for another day. This particular visa application, we had it at the Ikeja IOM office. So we got there around 6:30 and then we met some people on the queue and we waited. You'll be given a form to fill while you are waiting. You'll be given a form to fill with your details, your passport number, your age, your name and all that. So please fill the form, of course. And then if you are pregnant, there's a particular section for the ladies to ask you when was your last menstrual period, or if you think you are pregnant. If you are pregnant or you are not sure, or you have a feeling that you are pregnant but you are not certain, I think there's also a slot for not sure. Please tick not sure if you are not sure. But if you are sure, you are certain that you are pregnant, please indicate that you are pregnant. It's very, very important. That's why they have it in those forms anyway. So please indicate that you are pregnant. There's nothing, it's not going to affect your process, it's not going to affect your results. It's just a precaution for the baby that you are carrying inside you. So please, if you are pregnant, indicate that you are pregnant on that form. After filling the form, you have to wait for them to call you in. You'll be called into the nurses or doctor's office and your vitals will be taken. By vitals, I mean your temperature, your pulse, your respiration and your blood pressure. So your vitals will be taken, and if you are pregnant or if you ticked that you are pregnant, you'll be counseled and asked if you want to go ahead with the process or you want to wait till you give birth before you continue. This is only if you are pregnant. If you're not pregnant, you don't have to go through all this. So I'll have to sign a consent form and then you wait again for when they call you to the X-ray room. Now when you're called into the X-ray room, of course, basically you're taking off everything you're wearing on the top. You can leave whatever you have down, it's okay, but you have to take off everything you're wearing on top, and you'll be given a gown to cover, a hospital gown, and then you'll be taken to the X-ray machine, and you have to stand against the machine with your chest on the machine, and you take a deep breath, and then they'll take a picture of an X-ray of your chest. When you get into this X-ray room, if you are pregnant, please remind the X-ray person that you are pregnant, especially if you are not visibly pregnant. Pregnancy is not big. If you are still in the early stages of pregnancy, please remind them, because they need to give you a shield to cover your abdominal region, basically to protect. In my own case, when I did my medicals in Abuja, the lady actually, I had to tell her that I'm pregnant before she got me the shield. So maybe she forgot, or she did not, I mean, I don't blame her. Too many people are coming into that place, into that office, but it's important that you tell them, please, I am pregnant, especially if your tummy is not long, like my own was the second time around. But the first time around, my tummy was still inside. I'll still give you guys the gist of that, what I use that medicals process for anyway. But back to this one. So make sure you remember to inform the radiologist or radiographer that you are pregnant if you are not showing. So now after this process, you wait, and then they'll tell you when you can go home, because these people, this document, this X-ray, according to them, they send these images to doctors in, is it Kenya or where? I think Kenya. And these doctors are the ones that will now ascertain that, okay, this image is okay, the person can go, and then wait for their certificate. So they will page your name over the intercom, or for Abuja it was intercom. I can't remember if Lagos had an intercom. So they'll page your name and tell you, oh, this person, you are free to go home. And then you come back maybe the next day or some other time, basically, to get your certificate. Please wait until they have told you to go home. The first time around, I had to do my X-ray twice. I don't know why, what they saw in the first one, maybe it wasn't clear enough or something. I had to do my X-ray twice. So imagine if I had gone home and I didn't wait for them to tell me that I have to repeat the X-ray. So please wait until they tell you to go before you go home. In some cases, the TB test certificate may be ready the same day, or you have to go back the next day to get it. In our case, we had to go back the next day to get it, and like I said, it was a risk that we took because we almost did not meet up, but we did. So you may have to go back the next day to get your TB test certificate, or it may be ready the same day, and in some cases it may not even be ready the next day. If for any reason your test result was not convincing, or there was an issue with the test, you have to do the sputum test and not the X-ray test, and I mean that's going to take 3 days at least. So after you get your TB test certificate, you then move over to the next stage, which is of course the biometrics. So for the biometrics, of course, before your biometrics, like I mentioned, you should have uploaded all your documents. There's going to be a checklist